Oh, hi. Didn't realize you were there. What's that? Yeah, it is a shame about graduation this year. It's really hard to have to do things virtually. You want to hear about Dr. Blood? Is that what you said? Well, sure, I'd be happy to talk about Dr. Blood. This is for graduation? Hold on a sec. All right, that's a little better. I met Dr. Blood about 4 years ago at a recruiting conference when she was a medical student, and let me tell you, the moment I met her, I knew she was destined to be at Grant. She's the right fit for Grant all around, and I'm so glad that she chose to spend her last 3 years with us. Even as a medical student, when she rotated with us at East Maine, we really saw incredible things from her. Not just her smarts, but the way that she works with patients and shows compassion. She also has an incredible ability to really channel the past and really give honor to her ancestors, both distant and recent. I've heard so many great stories about her parents, her aunts and uncles, her cousins, and of course her granddaddy, who passed away while she was a resident and was an incredible mentor for her in how to be a great human being. We're so honored that she spent the last 3 years with us, helping us with recruitment efforts, helping push things through diversity and inclusion, and making a more inclusive environment for our residency program. She's led with such humility and grace. The great Maya Angelou said, "I believe we all come from the Creator, trailing wisps of glory." And when I think about Alex Blood, I think about wisps of glory. Wisps are delicate, they're unique, they don't come boisterous. When Dr. Blood enters a room, she doesn't just immediately command attention, she quietly leads with her patients on labor and delivery, in the inpatient environment, with her colleagues. Dr. Blood has led quietly, gracefully, and with tremendous wisps of glory, just like this dill. Dr. Blood, I am so grateful for the time I've spent with you, and I'm really glad that you're staying in Columbus and just going to be down the road, because I want to see more and more incredible things from you. You have an incredible teacher's heart, as evidenced by your award, the OSU Courage to Teach Award that you've just been honored with. I'm very excited for what the future holds for you, and congratulations to you and Lance on your upcoming wedding. Thank you so much for spending time with us and gracing us with your incredible wisps of glory. Dr. Blood, congrats.
Hi, I'm Bob Scully, and I'm going to also talk about Paul Tobias, who's one of our graduating residents. Paul graduated from law school at the University of California in San Francisco 15 years ago and practices as a corporate attorney for a number of years before saying, I'm not so interested in just making money and suing people. I actually kind of want to help people. He decided to go to medical school, and then that desire to help people led him to family medicine. I guess he was a Boy Scout when he was a kid, and he says a Boy Scout motto is to help other people at all times. He was inspired by that. He says in his personal statement when he came here, his interest is not in winning a lawsuit or increasing profitability or even in just curing a disease, but in helping each individual person, and he believes that requires an understanding of the person, and that's what sort of led him to family medicine. Again, a beautiful sentiment. We're glad that Paul's going to be here, staying in Ohio Health, and he'll be in practice just north of Dublin, Ohio. One thing that's also a little unusual about Paul, he's the first guy that I know that we had who owned a horse farm. He bought a plot of land big enough to have a couple of horses on it, and then with time he also kind of bought some other animals like some sheep or pigs or goats or something like that. And the big crisis he had when he was a resident was when he was a second-year resident on call here on a Saturday, right? His wife Audrey and the kids were kind of mining the farm, and one of its kids goes, "Hey, Mommy, what's this?" And she pulls up this pin, and this door swings open to this corral where all these animals are, and they all go out of there and overrun Dublin, Ohio. And Paul gets a call from Audrey, and she says, "Hey, I need some help up here." And Paul kind of goes, kind of like that, and says, "I gotta go," and just peels right out of here. And I wasn't sure if he was going up to try to corral these animals, like lasso them or something like that, or if he had to go home and clean out his shorts, because he was pretty upset. But I felt like if I'd have been like Scott Rogers, like I could have maybe helped him, like pipe it along, like ba ba ba, kind of make some animal noises, maybe try to corral those animals and get them back home. Sorry I couldn't help you on that one, Paul. The only other thing I'd say about Paul is with this COVID thing, we faculty have observed our residents' interaction with patients a lot more. It's kind of a long story, but I've watched Paul interact with patients a lot lately, and he is smooth. Just like you'd want to go, if you got sued, you want to go see your attorney, you want him to make you feel like, hey, he's got it under control. That's the way he makes the patients feel when they call him, and he's got beautiful interactions, clear communication. It's a beautiful thing. I've learned a lot just watching him. Excellent job, Paul, and good luck.
Our next graduate is Kelsey Murray. I had the pleasure of getting to know Kelsey when she was a medical student at Ohio State. Kelsey had served as the American Academy of Family Physicians National Family Medicine Interest Group Chair, and also served on the OAFP Board of Directors. We watched her apply for residency programs and really hoped that she would come to Grant, so I was thrilled on match day when I learned that she would be joining our Grant family. I then had the privilege of being Kelsey's advisor for the last 3 years. I enjoyed getting to know her personally as we had advisee family dinners, and found out that we shared the fact that we had played flute in high school in the marching band, but she hates peas and I love them, so I won't hold that against her. Kelsey has done a great job throughout her residency, been very involved, has helped us with a lot of EPIC knowledge and teaching tips and tricks. As a matter of fact, she just did some videos for our virtual orientation with our new interns, so we really appreciate her expertise there. She has also been very involved with the obstetrics committee, and as many of you know, Kelsey has decided to pursue her obstetrics knowledge just that much further by doing an OB fellowship. She'll be going to Peoria, Illinois after graduation, and will spend a year there learning how to do operative obstetrics. We know that she will take this knowledge into those areas that really need her services, and I can't wait to see what comes from all of this. Kelsey, I know you'll do a fabulous job. Your heart for family medicine and your true calling to this healing ministry will serve you well in wherever you go. I look forward to seeing how you develop your leadership skills through this next year, and I would love to see you back in Ohio somewhere in the near future. But in the meantime, look for a knock on your door, because since you're in Peoria, I'll be traveling straight through there on my way home to Iowa when I go to visit family, and I'll come visit you and see how you're doing. Best wishes in your future endeavors, and I'm so proud that you're a great grad.
Hi, this is Bob Scully. I'm here to talk about Sam Wu. I'm wearing the hat because the shine coming off of the lights is just blinding. Hopefully this will help. I got to know Sam a little bit over the last few years, right? Haven't seen her around much lately because of this COVID thing. Sam, I hope everything's going okay. Whenever you talk about somebody, you kind of look through their CV so you can share some stuff about them. That's what I've been doing. Okay, well, some things I want to share about her. Like, she grew up in Oakland, California. I knew that. Went to undergrad at Cornell, Ivy League, sort of impressive, right? And then Michigan State University for medical school. She was stationed up in Traverse City, up in the north there. And then here in Columbus, Ohio for the last 3 years. So for like 12 of the last 14, 15 years, she's been far away from home, and now she's going to go back home. She shared with me about a year ago that she was hoping to go back to Oakland at some point and serve this underserved minority Asian community, and so she's making her way back toward that goal. I think this is great. All right. I did read through her personal statement, maybe give us some insights into Sam, and I wanted to share these things. She says here, it's from a few years ago, I lived at a Buddhist monastery in California as a Buddhist nun. Whoa, well, that's something different, huh? And I don't know when this was exactly and all this other stuff that she's done, but pretty impressive. And also, I'm going to read further. Quote, I became a nun because I have always wanted to help others, which is why I am now dedicating my life to being a family physician. She says that family medicine is the perfect specialty for her to achieve this goal. And I think that's a beautiful thing. I want to say congratulations, Sam. And this light keeps doing this periodically. Hopefully that stops it. Only other thing maybe I could share about SAMU in my less than 1 minute left is that Sam's a lot of fun. I was talking with one of the faculty members about a year ago or more, and I was expressing some frustration over precepting this person who's now, by the way, long gone, none of you guys. And one of the other faculty members, who I won't say who it was, but it was Alicia, said to me, wouldn't you rather precept Sam Wu? I said, Sam Wu? Why Sam Wu? And she said, well, because Sam's just fun. And I thought about that, and I said, yeah, Sam is fun. Sam's fun, kind of a fun nun. I knew a lot of nuns growing up, and they weren't always fun. Matter of fact, they seemed kind of severe. But Sam, more of a fun nun. Sam, I wish you the best of luck out in Oakland. Good luck. Nice. Been great knowing you. Bye-bye.
Hi, I'm so excited to celebrate Divya Amanda for this year's graduating class. Divya has always been a very quiet, sort of introverted person. And I learned very quickly that although she doesn't say much, she's always thinking and processing. And when she finally does speak, you get this sort of amazing, insightful kind of summary of what's been going on around us. And she can really synthesize data well. I think that's been part of what makes her such a tremendous family doctor. She can take a lot of information and quickly process it. So she's kind of that person, like whenever she does speak, everyone sort of stops to listen because they know it's going to be something amazing. Divya came to us with many sort of hidden talents. She's very musical, plays both the violin and the piano. One thing that maybe is what got her into all this sports medicine love is she can do I asked what her favorite party trick was, and she can do nonstop cartwheels and handstands. So I feel like I've missed an opportunity not getting to see quite enough Divya cartwheels and handstands throughout residency. So I'm going to try to sneak that in here at the end. I think another superpower of hers is she stays awake without coffee. She's one of the few residents I know that does not like coffee and doesn't sort of need it to always be on her A game. She's really been able to live residency to the fullest, jumped into a lot of experiences as a sports medicine team doc. She was served as our office champion, so did a lot of work on sort of policies and procedures around the consolidation to our new downtown space. She took advantage of doing a global health experience in Japan, which was really amazing. And there was a while that she was sort of our huge volume person over in the walk-in care clinic. Dr. Scully used to post like numbers for every month, and every time we'd see this giant spike and he'd go, oh, that's the Amanda spike. So like it actually had a name in the office. So we'd have to pull her out and then average everybody else's numbers to get a true view of what everybody was doing in the walk-in clinic. She just blew everybody else out of the water. And I think in general, my biggest memory that I'll have of her is what we kind of coined her as the clinical ninja. She seems to accomplish a tremendous amount of patient care in a minuscule amount of time. And I still to this day don't understand how she does it. I remember once in the office, she was going to be seeing a private patient of mine, and it's someone I've been seeing for like 20 years or something. So I was going to go give him a heads up, hey, you're going to be meeting one of my junior partners. And so I went to walk in the room, and as I walk in the room, she's walking out of the room. She'd already done the encounter. Patient was raving about her, said she would love to see her at any time. And I'm thinking, like, literally she must have stopped time. I don't know how she managed it. I wish she would give me her secret time-stopping ability. But I am so excited that we'll still get to see Divya as she joins the Ohio Health Sports Medicine Fellowship. Congratulations, Divya.
I didn't know Julie Boateng before she matched with us at Grant, but it didn't take long for that infectious smile and laughter to draw us all in and make us all love her dearly. Julie is also a lover of music and dance, and we often see her with tunes on, helping to relax her and all of us as we do our work. Although she did say that her favorite concert was Justin Timberlake, and that did surprise me a little bit. But we do enjoy having Julie show us how she uses music to feed her soul and therefore feed ours. Julie is truly a family physician at heart, caring for the whole person and all of her community. She was part of our area of concentration on global health and as such traveled to India with some of our faculty and residents to provide care there. I know she was hoping to do more of that this year, but we did have a little difficulty with COVID, so I'm hoping that she will be able to take those skills that she learned and go out and do some mission work in the future. Julie is from a large family, and I had the privilege of getting to know her mother briefly over a phone conversation in 2133 one day. I got to learn a little bit more about Julie and about where she comes from and how she has developed into the person that she is. So I thank you, Julie, for allowing me that opportunity to get to know your mother as well. For Julie, medicine is truly more than a career. It is definitely a calling to a caring ministry, and she has taken that work into her church family as well as into the community. I look forward to seeing how you use those skills and use that passion in the community that you're going to be joining here in the near future. I know that you will continue to care for all those around you, and that all the skills that you've learned at Grant will serve you well. But mostly we will miss you and your smile and your laughter. And I hope that you will come back to visit us as often as you can.
Hi again, this is Scott Rogers. I was asked to say a few words about the incredible Dr. Jessica Tucker, one of our Grant grads for this year. Dr. Tucker asked to make sure that I included a llama in the video. It was really important to her, so I'm obliging. And it got me thinking a little bit. I met Dr. Tucker about 4 years ago as well, when in Kansas City as a medical student. And she came to me with this incredible confidence and assertiveness and said, gosh, I had an opportunity to work with Dr. Steve Ulrich, one of our former Grant grads, and he's incredible, and he does everything, and I want that. I want to be a Grant doc. And she knew before we knew that Grant was the right place for her. I want to share a little bit about how Dr. Tucker is like a llama. I can tell you that she's not like a llama and that she probably doesn't spit a lot, quite as much as this llama does. But she does have some other great attributes. One is an incredible set of hair. These llamas have such great hair that we have to shave them once a year, which I'm pretty sure Dr. Tucker has never done. However, there's some other things that llamas are pretty well known for. First, it's that they're fiercely loyal. They're loyal to their tribe. Dr. Tucker has come in from day one to Grant and made sure that everybody knows that she's all in. She's all in for full spectrum family medicine. She's all in for her patients. She's all in for her colleagues. And she really makes this place better. Llamas are also wonderful parents. This particular llama who's rolling around doesn't actually have any babies of her own, but she becomes a surrogate mother for our baby goats and will protect them from predators. Dr. Tucker has done an incredible job raising a family of her own while also being fiercely protective of her Grant family, her colleagues, medical students, and her patients. I'm so glad that Dr. Tucker is staying around locally and gonna continue to work with vulnerable patients, including moms, doing prenatal care, and also doing breastfeeding medicine, which is something that she's passionate about. She is a true Grant grad in that she is really committed to our scope of practice and I'm really, really proud to have been able to spend several years with her. I'm also lucky that she's my neighbor, so I hope to continue our friendship for many years. Thanks and congrats, Dr. Tucker.
Hello. I am super excited to be able to celebrate Emily Gieser for graduation this year. Emmy, as everybody apparently has called her since she was a year old, has been a tremendous joy to work with at Grant. When she first came to us, we had to describe each other in terms of what your style of learning is, and she was a doer, and there's been no question that that's been the case throughout residency. She absolutely dives into every experience and never shies away from a new educational experience, and I think she sees all of that as a way to just be a better doctor for her patients. She's a tremendous patient advocate, never ever stops to go above and beyond to do whatever her patients really need for her. And she told us once a story. When she was a first grader, she apparently had 5 different hamsters in 1 year because they kept leaving. And I'm really glad to say she didn't have that experience in residency. Her patients didn't leave because she took such great care of them. I'm gonna so miss her smile in the office. She always was somebody who would brighten my day, whether it was on OB or inpatient, and I just really love that about her. She had many passions that she shared with us. She's an avid reader, and she said when she was a little kid, she used to bring a book to every sporting event that she was sort of forced to go to, so that made me laugh. And I think we all know Em loves her coffee. Apparently started drinking coffee at the age of 12, and so has been a big residency advocate for delicious coffee in residency and how that keeps you kind of at your best. She also shared with us she has a secret talent. She can open beer bottles with a lighter or a key. So I think like maybe if this whole doctoring thing doesn't pan out for her, she could like own a coffee cafe where people could do cool reading and she could like crack open their beer bottles in this great way. So I think it'd be a huge success. She shared once that her best friend was her mom. And I love that. Of course, having 3 daughters, I think that's amazing. And I know that Keith as well is her best friend. So I would like to thank both Keith and Emmy's mom for sharing her with us. And obviously, she was able to balance all of this while adding a new beautiful baby girl to this world, and she will be missed tremendously. Luckily, I have 1 more year to still celebrate with her because she's going to be joining the Hospitalist Fellowship here at Grant. So I hope to see her around a lot, and I sure hope after her fellowship she goes on to do full scope family medicine because she has gifts in all areas of family medicine. And I'm going to miss you, Em. Congratulations. We've loved being a part of your education.
I've worked with Lizzie for the last 2 years on the Wellness on Wheels primary care. She came on board as a rising second year or a mid-year second year. She's always impressed me with how calm she is, how patient, and how much she listens to the patients. I think she makes them all feel as if they're the only patient she has. She has been a really surprise sometimes. She's challenging to me to be sure that I'm up to date on the most current things. She's taught me as much as I hope I've taught her. She is takes everything in stride. There isn't anything that she gets excited or upset about. She just maintains her peace and her calm and moves through any challenges she meets. I saw when the second years were out doing something fun together. She was pregnant with Thea and dressed up in a dress. They were out skeet shooting, and there's this great picture of Lizzie in her dress, pregnant, with a rifle in her hand shooting skeet. And I just thought that was pretty cool. I know that wherever she goes, I know that she has a heart for the community. I know that she will continue to care for her patients in an excellent way. And Lizzie, I applaud you for your hard work, and I hope that all of your plans come to pass and you get to enjoy a long time as a physician.
Okay, definitely the last one. Take 77. Well, hello. Thanks so much for joining me this evening. It's just a typical night at home when I have the opportunity to sit back and relax and reflect upon some of the amazing graduates of the Grant Family Medicine Residency Program. This evening, I was just thinking about Jennifer Ladani. Let me tell you more. Okay, so this is incredibly hard. Not only is there this lighting thing that I can't seem to get right, there's also this thing that my face does that's pretty weird, and the fact that I have to say something about 52 times before I actually get it right. But the more challenging thing is that I need to fit in about 3 minutes, 3 years with an incredible resident. But that's what I'm going to try to do. So here we go. In reflecting about Jen and her career, I think that I kept thinking about this quote: "Some systems are perfectly designed for the results they achieve." And maybe you'll understand this a little bit more and why I think it describes some residents when you hear about what Jen wrote in her personal statement as she applied to residency. She wrote, "I understand what it means to put in a hard day of work, and I think that anyone who has ever worked with Jennifer Ladani knows that she does indeed understand this." She writes, "I expect a lot from your program, and in return, I hope you expect a lot from me as well. I want to be constantly challenged and constantly learning." And I think that we saw this even as she was one of the last of her senior peers to rotate on the SFM service, that she continued to challenge herself and learn. She wrote, "I understand what it means to work as a team, and I value collaboration, and I know that every single member of her Gray Pod feels this. If I would have been better, I could have figured out how to mix their videos with mine, and it would have been great, but I'm not, so here we are." She writes, "I hope to receive and provide feedback that will help us all grow." And I will tell you, she never left a chief meeting without saying anything that I could be doing better. It was pretty inspiring. But the real reason I think Jen was perfectly designed to excel at Grant lies in this next statement. She wrote, "I understand family." And that's not just how she summarized it, it's also how she started it. She wrote about the fact that she grew up in beautiful chaos, and she then described her large family and their business. And that theme of family, and actually chaos, kind of ran throughout. When I asked her what she expected 10 years down the road, she talked about chaos. She talked about a staff that worked really well together, that took care of each other while they were taking care of patients. Maybe that chaos is why she did so well this year. But when I heard that, I thought, this person is meant for us. But in the very end, Jen wrote this. She said, "30 years from now, may I be humble and my values remain. May my knowledge continue to grow, and may all who enter my practice be treated as and feel like family." And I don't know that I can more beautifully describe the spirit and the physician that Jennifer Ladani is than with that. And so I'm going to leave you with that. But I also wanted to leave Jen with something. And so lastly, that's my hope for you, Jen. She wrote a piece for an AMWO publication about a mentor. Maybe that person's watching, but she said that this person saw the potential within me that I was blind to. And my hope is that Jen is no longer blind to that potential, because we've all benefited from it quite a bit, and I hope that she will continue to shine that light. Thank you, Jen. Congratulations.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Roma Amin. I'm currently a faculty member at the Grant Family Medicine Residency Program, and it is my utmost honor to introduce the amazing Spencer Conti for tonight's graduation ceremony. I've had the pleasure of knowing Spencer for the past 4 years. I first met Spencer when he was rotating with our program during his sub-internship as a fourth-year medical student. Even as a student, Spencer was a compassionate, dedicated, and fun member of the team. Spencer had previously worked as an ICU tech at Grant, so we were just as happy as he was when he matched with us and got to return back home for residency. I don't know how these past 3 years have flown by, but I do know that many of us would not have made it through residency without Spencer. When I was doubting myself as a chief resident or early faculty member, Spencer was always there for milkshakes and a hug. When his colleagues were having a bad day or were upset, Spencer was always there with that kind smile and patient ear. He's the rare kind of human who sits by your side through the discomfort until he knows you're better, no matter what. And whether he's bringing babies into this world or holding his patients' hands as they take their final breath, Spencer's patients know that he cares and that they're in excellent hands. To his parents, thanks for raising an incredible human. To Lauren, Alex, and Lillian, thanks for sharing Spencer with us these past 3 years, and for randomly bringing us all ice cream when we were having rough days at the hospital. And last, but certainly not least, to Spencer. I know you're not going far, but you're going to be leaving a large void here at Grant, and we are really going to miss you. Thank you for everything, Spencer. We wish you the best of luck in your next chapter of life, and we'll always be here for you if you ever need anything. We love you lots. Congratulations.
Hi, my name is Kevin Gully, and I'm one of the attendings here at Grant. And I have the distinct pleasure of introducing to you all Dr. Vernita Troyer, class of 2020. I first met Vern when she was a medical student coming for her interview here for residency, and I remember reading her personal statement. And it talked about all of the difficult but yet really important decisions and stages that she had gone through to arrive here at Grant, to arrive at being a doctor. I remember being impressed with her commitment, impressed with the thought behind how she arrived at being a doctor, and about how deeply she felt impassioned to care for others. She was a little naive, I think we all remember that, and I was so excited to see how she was going to approach the challenges that were presented to her at Grant, both from a patient standpoint and from a learning standpoint too. It was great and fun to see Vern grow. She approached each day with energy and a positive attitude. I think we all expect that out of Vern every day now. It's part of who she is. I remember that Vern, and I know that Vern approaches every day also with humility, sometimes too much humility. She undercuts her own knowledge at times. She is always wanting to learn. When we staff cases after the day, she's always kicking herself, and I think she's going to be great someday. That attitude where she is always wanting to learn more and learn from others, it's going to be really helpful for her, and that's just part of who she is. She wants to get better. She wants to help others get better. She has this "I'll get it next time" attitude, where she can always approach the next day with renewed energy and renewed passion. The thing that I will miss most about Vern is how much she cares for everybody, how much she cares for me, how much she cares for her fellow residents, and how much she cares for her patients and dogs and cats and everything that Vern meets, she cares. Whether it's a good day for her or a bad day for her, whether she knows the person well or has just met that patient, Vern cares deeply and sacrificially. And that's something that we're going to miss. She's the only resident that I've known has ever made individualized or personalized gifts for all the MAs. You can go walk around the office and see them. She will not be forgotten. So with that said, Vern, we will miss you. We will miss how much you care for us. Thanks for being a part of Grant Family Medicine, and congratulations.
Where to start when discussing Dr. Kelly Tibbert? I could give you some highlights from her CV, but I was told I only have 3 minutes, and so that's clearly not going to be enough time for that. Anyone who knows Kelly knows that she came to Grant with a wealth of leadership experience already, having been president of AMSA previously, so it's no surprise that Kelly has continued in that mold. She's able to be passionate about so many different things, about reproductive justice, LGBTQ rights, healthcare for the underserved and marginalized populations, and also to volunteer extensively, doing Walk with the Doc or working with hospice care. She's been able to lead locally, being chief resident, serving in a key role in the Gender Affirmation Council, and to lead nationally as well, serving as immediate past president of AMSA, and in this past year, serving as the resident board member for the AAFP. It's exhausting just trying to keep up as Kelly's advisor with what she has been doing, let alone trying to imagine balancing all of these things herself in residency. And yet throughout all of this, Kelly has found the time to learn and grow as a physician, to care for patients in the hospital, in the office, in their homes, and to do all of this well with a compassionate, patient-centered approach. In a confidential evaluation earlier this year, one of Kelly's fellow residents wrote of her, quote, "Kelly is the epitome of a role model. She balances tasks in a way that is admirable and is truly dedicated to the work that she does." Kelly's going to be bringing her skills and leadership back to Florida after residency and continuing her commitment to providing full spectrum, all options care to all people, regardless of race, ethnicity, gender, or sexuality. She's already a leader in our field, and I have no doubt she will continue to be a capital C change maker. In a different spot on the evaluation that I referenced earlier, a resident provided another comment that echoes my own sentiments very well at this time. Quote, "I cannot say enough good things about Kelly and will miss working with and learning from her." Kelly, I will miss your leadership, your advocacy, your teaching, your infectious laughter. I'm so excited to see what you bring to the state of Florida. I think they really need you just now. Congratulations on completing family medicine residency, Dr. Tibbert, and all the best to you in your career.